As of recording this, we just got the announcement for the Silverash Altar event that is coming in a few days, and there is one specific change that is coming with this event that I wanted to talk about. So if we scroll down, we have the good stuff that comes with each limited banner, like the free pulls, a free welfare operator, and stuff like that. Even a free top operator from recruitment. But if we scroll all the way down, going into the quality of life changes, and they really put this at like the very bottom of the announcement. So there's optimization to sanity, so your potions are automatically used when they expire if you're not at max sanity. And then we get to here. So we have the automatic one-click clues, which is a very good quality of life change that they're finally doing. Don't know why it took them so long. But the real topic that I wanted to talk about is the way that the support system works. So it says, after the support function improvements, so as soon as this event starts, players can borrow support operators according to their original level and are no longer affected by the highest level operator in the squad or whether the player is on the friends list. So what this means is that if we go to a stage, like let's just say H16 1, whatever. So how the system currently works.
Follow me close. No dinner for those who fall behind.
Is that if you use an E0 is the highest promotion level for your whole squad, then everybody's support is going to be downgraded to Elite 0 maximum level. And then if we go to Elite 1,
I'll take the wheel, you take a breather.
And then if you have an Elite 1 as the highest promotion of your squad, then you have then everything is downgraded to Elite 1. And then finally,
Captain? What does a captain do?
Then as soon as you put an E2 operator in your squad, everybody is promoted to the highest level of that they're already at, their original levels. So the biggest question is, why did NicheKnights have this system? Why did they downgrade the support levels to the highest promotion level? And my theory is that they did it so that, like, let's put in...
Just focus on offense no matter how the fight might go. Yep, go wild. I'll keep you all safe.
Thanks, Hashiguma. My original thought was that they did that so that new players wouldn't trivialize the very beginning of the game. And another thing that supports this idea is that something that I have talked about a few times is that if you borrow an Elite 0 support unit, as you can see here, their trust is at 51% instead of 100. And the reason why that is so significant is that, especially with low-level operators, if we go to my operator list here, is that, like for Lemuin, for an example, she has 637 attack at Elite 0 level 1, and the trust value gives 100 to that attack stat. So each operator gets like roughly 20% of their most relevant attribute for their playstyle. So So for an example, like Lessing as a Dreadnought, he gets HP and attack, because Dreadnoughts usually have fairly high HP. So having that halved makes it so that even when new players borrowed these support units, they wouldn't have the super high stats. And another thing to keep in mind is that back in the day when NicheKnights launched, and for some time after the launch of NicheKnights, is that new players were not given nearly as many free stuff as they do today. So for an example, they didn't... when I first started, we didn't have the free Elite 2 5-star, we didn't have the free Elite 2 4-star, we didn't have the free E2 or E280 thing, and we didn't even have the free 6-star permits and stuff. All we had was the starter banner that gave you a guaranteed 6-star within, I think in the first 10, let me see here. Yeah, first roll gives a free 6-star in, well, not free, but a 6-star in the first 10. And then we also had the phase rewards of the free Texas. And that was basically it. So this system was supposed to... well, was made in such a way that when a new player first started the game, they wouldn't trivialize it for themselves. Like, they could get a support to help them out, but it wouldn't carry them, essentially. Or at least, like, completely cheese the campaign for themselves. So before we go any further, I have to say that in my personal opinion, I think this is a good change. Unfortunately, there are a few side effects to this change that's just consequences of this change going in. I tend not to use support units. I prefer not to, if I can help it. But there are a few stages. For an example, in the Babel event for BB-8, I used an Elite 0 level 50 Virtuosa for the assassin guy. And that was how I was able to clear it with Elite 0 level 1 plus that support unit. Like, there are some stages that either I don't think can clear, Elite 0 level 1 can clear without that support, or I don't know how to, or the difference between the potentials and level 1 skills, like, makes it impossible for me to clear something that other Elite 0 level 1 players can clear, like that kind of thing. Like, I want to use a support unit under those circumstances, but I don't want to use an Elite 2 support unit, you know, to completely carry me in that sense. So there's that side effect, that I'm not going to be able to do that anymore unless I message like Dambo, one of the OG NicheKnight players who does Elite 0 maximum level, like me messaging Dambo, oh, hey, can you put an Elite 0 level 50 Virtuosa on your support unit? I know I'm trying to clear this at 3 a.m., but could you put her up for me? Yeah, I don't think he would be up for that, but that is a side effect. Like, as an example, the other thing that negatively affects is that if we go to support unit, is that many people don't know that you can actually borrow an Elite 0 level 50 Gardemia, and as you know, it's impossible to get either Gardemia or Medic version of Amiya without her being Elite 2. So for Dambo especially, being Elite 0 level 50, he had access to Gardemia and Medicamia because of how the support system works in order to allow him to use them on the stage without invalidating his niche. So that is another side effect of this as well. One positive that I do want to mention is that in my contingency contract 3 clear from Extinguished Sins, there was a daily rotating stage that I couldn't clear the challenges for, and I actually lost out on 40 risk points that would have had no effect on the clear that I did. So I would have had 640 points instead of 600. So that is a silver lining of this change as well. So overall, like I said, I think this is a good change for the game, because since new players get the free Elite 2 5-star ticket, if they choose to use that, they're able to bypass these restrictions anyway and are able to borrow an Elite 2 support if they choose to anyway. So the restrictions that Hypergriff put on the support system no longer serve its original purpose. So I think it just makes sense that they would completely remove them. And while this will make it harder for me to find Elite 0 level 50 supports in the future, in the past you guys have had my back and offered me support units when I've needed them, and I am very grateful for that. So I am not really too worried about it, but I did want to make a brief video talking about these changes, and because it directly affects my niche. But with that being said, let's all enjoy Silverash Altars event coming up.